remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
In New Mexico
for 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, in about a week and a half, maybe two, it'll be every night. Playoffs. You'll be watching the Celtics and you'll be watching the Lakers and maybe the Lakers. Certainly the Nuggets. So with 6 games to go in the regular season, they all count a lot. Last night, as it says right here, Boston is it. Celtics wrapped up the best record in the NBA. 11th straight home win. They're 60-16. Their 14th 60-win season in franchise history. The Celtics will be your number 1 seed going to the playoffs, but everything else is a bit murky. Good morning to you. Merry Thursday. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. How you living?
Oh, what it do?
You all right back there?
All right.
Then. So I don't want to say quietly because the talk has been Celtics, but maybe if you're in the western part of the country and you're watching the West more, because the West is more compelling probably because it's so competitive. There's so many good teams in the West. So I don't want to say quietly they've become this juggernaut the Celtics have, but at 60-16 and where they are, and then winning last night 135-100 over or 106 over Oklahoma City. I'm sorry, 135-100. So Oklahoma City goes in as one of the top 3 teams in the West. Now, it wasn't a full team, but Celtics are making a pretty big statement and have been. We're it, man. As you wrote on the sheet, dude, they are it. And it's going to be really interesting because I think Milwaukee's the team, but then I watched Milwaukee get beat last night by who? They're it, aren't they, right now?
Yeah, Boston is the favorite in the Eastern Conference and should be in the top 2 in the discussion. If you want to say the Denver Nuggets, the way they're playing, tied for first in the Western Conference, defending NBA champs, well, the Boston Celtics should be right there when we're talking about teams with the pressure to win an NBA championship. And I think some of the buzz with the Celtics, maybe it's calmed down just because it's felt that way for a few years now.
Yeah.
We've seen the Boston Celtics on the biggest stage, got beat by the Golden State Warriors. But this team is better. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are prime stars. I think this is an opportunity for Jason Tatum to kind of make that leap to superstar status if he's able to go on an incredible playoff run, get his team back to the conference finals, because they're built differently now with, Kristaps Porzingis is your starting 5, but they're bringing Al Horford off the bench. And so he's a veteran guy, but it's limited minutes. So you got kind of the guy that can bang inside. Kristaps Porzingis being a matchup nightmare for other teams and still being really good defensively when it comes to the block. Jrue Holiday won a championship with the Milwaukee Bucks. Now he's the point guard for this team. They have absolutely everything to get it done.
I loved when they made the Porzingis trade. I thought that was the right spot for him because he didn't have to go in and be the guy, right? He can go in and be a piece, and what a piece he's been. And they're 13 games better than the rest of that whole conference. 13 games better than Milwaukee. 14.5 better than Cleveland. 15 better than 4th place Orlando. In comparison, to go 13 games back of the leader in the West, you got to go out of the playoff. You got to go out of the play-in. You got to go all the way down to Houston at number 11. 13.5 games, they're 13 games better than number 2 in the East, right? Minnesota and Denver right now are tied for number 1 in the West. A game better than 3, 5 better than 4. But you got to go out of the play-in tournament. to go 13 games back. That's the comparison. That's how dominant they've been. And I look at it, I think this is a gigantic postseason for Jason Tatum because of everything you just said. They've been there, they've been close, they've been right on the doorstep, and for him to become the superstar that he wants to be, in his words, right? I mean, he's the guy who said, "I want to be the face of the league," isn't he? He's got to be there. He's got to have a hell of a playoff run, and it's going to be really interesting to me to watch the playoffs because they're going to get in the first round. Chicago, Philly, Indiana, something like that. I mean, if they get Philly in the first round, by the way.
If you get Philly in the first round, that's like, wait a second. Like they should handle Philadelphia, but Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, that's.
I kind of want to see that.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's like if you end up getting the Lakers or Warriors in the first round, it's like have fun with that. Like when you get to a 7-game series, and one thing for the Celtics too is in this run, you know what happened last year. Joe Mazzulla taking over Ime Udoka, fired, everything that occurred, and that was like right before the season started. And now they have 2 full seasons with Joe Mazzulla. They're locked in. There's no questions about what this team needs to do. Milwaukee, there's still a ton of questions. His first year with Dame Lillard, he didn't play last night, but still, you're losing back-to-back games
to Memphis,
to Washington and Memphis.
What are we doing?
4 or 5 right now. Yeah, they're still in second place in the Eastern Conference. But those are the questions. You're like, well, you already had a midseason coaching change. You don't know if you're fully on board with everything that Doc Rivers was trying to implement defensively. And that's why the Celtics are running away from everyone in the East.
Second place team in the East is the Bucks. They lose last night, 111-101 to Memphis at home. And what was I watching the other day? One of the NBA shows. And whoever it was steadfast. Nope, Milwaukee's my team. Milwaukee's my team. And here's why. They got the best big three. Their big three is better than Boston's. And you can debate that, right? Tatum, Brown, Porzingis.
Because Giannis could be
Well, Giannis, Lillard.
the ace.
Yeah. Okay, Giannis and Damian
champ.
Lillard to get started, right? And then is it, I mean, who's my third? It's
Take Chris Middleton.
probably right because he was number 2 until Dame got there.
But now I would take Kristaps Porzingis over Chris Middleton.
Right? I think everybody would. But Giannis is Giannis. I mean, you're saying Giannis and Dame against Tatum and Brown. Who's playing better? How do you trust Milwaukee right now? And do you trust, dare I say, Doc Rivers?
Not a lot of trust in Doc Rivers. And with the regular season, there is something I appreciate about a team that does roll. Like a team that is locked in like Boston, not taking nights off, able to handle their business. Very impressive.
And they do. All right, in the West last night, Phoenix moved out of the play-in tournament for now. They moved over to New Orleans. Phoenix with a win at home, and they're starting to play well now. They're starting to look like that Suns team that maybe you expected. They had Cleveland at home last night, beat them 122-101. Kevin Durant had 32 points, and Bradley Beal's playing, although he only scored 2 points. Devin Booker went for 40 last night. And so they moved out of the play-in. Lakers are playing well. They are a game away from 8. And what would that mean? Like okay, they're a game and a half out from the Suns. If the Lakers could get to 7 or 8, you could maybe then get the Lakers and the Warriors into the playoffs, right?
Yeah, it gets
right now you can't get them both in.
Yeah, so if you're 7 or 8, you get 2 chances.
Right. If
to
you
get in.
Right. If the way
the
it works,
loser would play one more time.
7 plays 8, 8 plays 9. Okay, the winner of the 7-8 game, which right now is New Orleans, Sacramento, but everything's really tight, goes in as the number 7 seed. The loser of that game plays the winner of the 8-9 game, which right now is the Lakers and Warriors, for that final spot, the 8 seed. Okay, right now Lakers and Warriors can't both get into the playoffs. They're both in the play-in, but they can't both advance. Now, if the Lakers can somehow get above Sacramento and get into that 7-8 game and win that, the Warriors could win too, and then you get some really interesting matchups. That means the Nuggets in the first round either get the Lakers or the Warriors.
The Western Conference is legit. Like we're talking about the Lakers and Warriors as playing teams, but the Lakers are 11 games over 500. The Warriors are 41. and 34, which that would still be touch about
7th.
8th in the Eastern Conference, but still for the 10th seed in a conference, it shows you how good it is. And the Phoenix Suns, man, they're the scariest team. They are. And I know when the Bradley Beal trade went down and everyone was dropping their hot takes, and mine was they didn't need much of anything else. But then the Yusuf Nurkic trade is huge because he's the perfect big for them. He can bang with everyone. He's efficient enough. He's not a guy that needs the basketball. It's a better fit than DeAndre Ayton was for them.
I agree
with what they're trying to do right now. And Devin Booker and Kevin Durant are the scariest scorers in the NBA.
Right now, they'd be up against Oklahoma City in the first round. I mean, like, as good as Oklahoma City's been, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is terrific. Who you like, right? I mean, it's right now, the West, it would be Minnesota, I guess, would be your one for a tiebreaker. But I got to believe, I'm just going to say Denver's going to jump them because I believe they will. Denver will get that last seed, whether it's the Lakers, Warriors, Sacramento, something like that. Minnesota will get the 7. New Orleans, Sacramento, Lakers, Warriors. And then it's Oklahoma City and Phoenix and the Clippers and Dallas. It's so good. The West is so good. And you go on the other side, you got 2 teams in the play-in tournament, the 9 and 10 team, who are 4 games under 500. That's the Bulls and the Hawks. And then and the Sixers are your 8th seed, and they just got Embiid back. It's really good. We're going to watch it as we go. Lots to do. Glad you're with us on Thursday. Jerry Palm's going to be with us. He is in Arizona, and I'm really looking forward to catch up with you. I always like talking to Jerry Palm from CBS Sports, and he's been to the Final Four, and he goes to the Final Four, and I've seen him at the Final Four, and he's great. But really looking forward to hearing him this week, this year, because his team's in the Final Four, his alma mater. I saw him on the social media last night wearing his Purdue stuff going. It hits different, and I know this firsthand. JJ, it hits a little different when you go cover the Final Four and your team's in it.
You think?
I know. And they haven't been there since, 1980? So kind of Jerry's, adult life.
Still waiting to get back to the second round.
Right? I get it. It's been a minute, so I totally understand it. So we'll talk to Jerry coming up. That's going to be at 8:30 today. We got listed at the top of the hours for the Taylor Swift giveaway stuff and how to text in for that. Let me give you phone numbers to get in today and want to hear from you because I got a number of things. 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. That's the text line and the phone line here at The Sports Animal. Your emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. We're going to hit, there's a lot of NFL stuff as we get closer. Golf may be in a panic, and you're starting to hear it a little bit from the players. The Final Four we're going to hit on as well. But when we come back, man, where did this come from? A former Mountain West star went for 50 last night, made history whilst doing it, and they lost. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Adventure is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated,
rip, plastered,
destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Oh, you probably will remember the name. I know you forgot about him. And there's reason, too. Whatever happened to, no, not Jimmer. Jimmer, he'll resurface at the Olympics this summer. And we can play the hell out of the Jimmer song, can we?
We can, and what college highlights will they use for Jimmer for day?
The one where he went for 52, was it 52 against the Lobos in the Friday night game in Vegas, right? Is that still it was the Mountain West at that point? Yeah, because on the mountain. It's part of the lyrics of the song. Yeah, of course it is. No, not that former Mountain West star, but one who was on a 30-2 team when COVID shut down the NCAA tournament. They remember Malachi Flynn? He was on that San Diego State team right before COVID that was going to be a 1 or a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. And he transferred from Washington State. He was a first-round pick, 29th pick overall in the NBA by Toronto, and he's been bouncing around. He's played for 3 teams this season. Last night, Malachi Flynn came off the bench. He's playing for Detroit. Came off the bench and scored 50. Now, they lost. That's what the Pistons do. They lose a lot of games, JJ. But there's some history to this one. This one hit a little bit different because he came off the bench. And, well, because it was Malachi Flynn. So it's just the third player ever. And I found this odd, but then I started thinking about it. Did this hit weird to you? The third player ever in the NBA to score 50 points in a game off the bench. The other two were Jamal Crawford and Nick Anderson. Did that hit weird to you at all?
No. Like, Jamal Crawford is one of the best bench scorers ever. So, like, him having a 50-point game, I get it. But coming off the bench, you're not going to get many opportunities to get hot and stay hot.
Yeah.
But you can with the Detroit Pistons in a 50-piece in the NBA game regardless.
Does that get him a job next year?
I think that's why he's had a job.
Right? Because he can score.
Good rotation player, a good guard. He was scoring from everywhere last night. And I do appreciate how he said after the game that maybe in a few days he'll embrace it. No, embrace it, man. You're playing for the Pistons. Yeah, you're a competitor. You want to win. You just dropped 50.
Off the bench.
Off the bench.
So he's one of three to do that. He's one of one to do this. This puts him at the top of the list when you talk about, now I don't know if this is a great list to be on. Malachi Flynn is now he has the lowest career scoring average. So let me it's getting sloppy. He has the lowest career scoring average of any player with a 50-point game in the history of the NBA. I don't know if you're proud of that or, man, I just had one. Is this like getting a hole in one? No, honestly.
It has that vibe to it. Like, you can go around and, like, I dropped 50.
Yeah, dude, but you average 5.2 points a game in the NBA.
I came off the bench and I scored 50 points. I can get buckets in the NBA.
Yeah.
Give me 5 more minutes.
He averages 5.2 points in his career in the NBA. And he went off for 50 last night. He's the second player ever, along with Jamal Crawford, to have at least 50 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists off the bench. LeBron James ain't never done that.
Yeah, where you at, LeBron?
Right? Right. I mean, how would you play this? Like, would you play it up? Yep, LeBron never did it. Magic and Bird never did it.
Heck yeah, that's to be in the NBA and to have that opportunity is already incredible. And now to have a 50-point game on your resume off the bench,
yeah,
it is like a home run. That's awesome.
Now, how do you back it up? Do you score 4 tomorrow night?
That probably will happen.
Right. We'll watch it though. They're bad. Like the Pistons are really bad. Not as bad as they were at the beginning of the year when they lost, 18, 20, whatever it was in a row. But they're not good. So Malachi Flynn's on his third team of the season. Went for 50, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. He was 18 of 25 from the field. And he came off the bench and did it. It's good stuff, man. It's kind of fun. You know, we watch guys in this league, and we think they're going to be pretty good. I thought Trent Sherfield was pretty good with Nevada. Who in the league this year do you say, all right, I think that guy's going to be a pretty good pro? Like, do you think Isaiah Stevens will be a good pro?
I haven't really sat down and done my next level.
And it doesn't have to be next year, right? I mean, will Jalen House, like, I think at some point, I think Donovan Dent's a pro.
He's one that I'm thinking a lot more about. And now I know a lot of people love to point out some of the other players' deficiencies. Dent's a dude that needs to step it up
defense. Next year. Yeah, no doubt.
Because of Jamal Mashburn and then hype for Jalen House, no one ever really looked at him playing any defense.
Yeah.
On the floor, but he has that game. I think Isaiah Stevens, probably second rounder potentially
as a distributing point guard.
Yeah, but he's got size. He's shown that he can score off the dribble, and that's still important.
What is Ledee in the pros? Because he's developed a 3-level game now. Right?
Ledee is someone that
he's a 4.
Probably gonna have to play the 4.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking David Roddy could be a comp.
That's a good comp,
yeah,
though.
and David Roddy's in the NBA. He's on rosters.
Former Colorado State star.
So that's where I kind of get the feeling of Liddy. I could see him being a late first-round pick.
Here, and I think he might slip into the second, although this draft's really interesting. Because he developed so late, right? I mean, he was an absolute role player on the team that went to the national championship game the year prior. And then it was up for, was he player of the year in one of the polls, and Osobor was in the other? I wonder, do you look at a guy like that and say he's still developing? Like he got so much better from year, junior to senior or whatever, year last to this. I don't know how many years it is. A guy that played at Ohio State, went to Ohio State and TCU, right? Before he went to San Diego State. I think that's right. The body on him, he's going to rebound. I do believe he'll rebound the NBA. I do believe he'll play defense. That's one of those things. If I'm an NBA scout and I look at him and I do look at the program and I say, damn, he went to San Diego State. I know he's got to play defense, right? I know he's going to play defense. And now I've watched this game develop. He's really good back to the basket. He's got that 14 to 17 foot shot right around the free throw line, pretty down. And then he backed it out in the postseason and hit some threes.
Yeah, outside of the NFL draft, I know we talk about projections.
Yeah.
Like every other draft, the NBA draft, NHL draft, Major League Baseball draft is that times 10. Like you're looking for more finished products, even at the NFL level. And that's why it's interesting when you look at an Isaiah Stevens.
At the NFL, yeah.
Or Liddy, because these are guys that it's the huge dynamic. You still have a lot of young guys that are going to go atop the draft, but then you get late first round, second round. But teams are looking for these guys. Teams are adding guys that stay longer in college because that's more of the trend.
More so now. Yeah, I think one of the great examples of we talked about potential and not a finished product was Tony Snell. Remember when Tony Snell got drafted? And I remember we looked at each other, and me more than you, because JJ was you were really on this, and you talked about the potential and what they see, and he's not a finished product. I thought Tony Snell needed another year. When he went out, I was convinced Tony Snell needed another year. Well, Tony Snell went up and had a hell of an NBA career, didn't he? I mean, I think it was 10 years. Or damn near close. Right? And he's just short of his pension, isn't he? So I agree with that. I just look around the league this year and who is it? By the way, Great Osobor went into the... So he's testing his draft. This is the guy from Utah State, the player of the year in the league. Great Osobor yesterday, JJ, went into the draft. Well, not into the draft. He's...
It's what everyone should do.
No doubt. Testing what Jalen did 2 years ago. But also, he's going to transfer if he doesn't go into the NBA draft. Is he a graduate student, or we're at unlimited transfer at this point?
I'm pretty sure we're at unlimited transfers at this point.
Because he transferred from Montana State. I mean, the rule I thought at some point was you get one transfer without having to sit out, and then you get another one when you're a graduate student. But I think we've just kind of morphed into it's free agency completely every year now, right? Is that rule formalized?
I don't think there's anything formalized.
So they just apply for waivers and everybody gets it?
I don't even think it's waivers. They have to do waivers.
You just go.
Anymore. Yeah.
You just, every year you can go. All right. We all think that's good for the game, although I don't know that matters. That was cool. It was good to watch a Mountain West guy. All right, when we come back, I got a lot of NFL stuff for you, JJ and I do. What would you think? Like, Dallas Cowboys own Dallas. They're America's team. Could they get a roommate? Could there be a second team in Dallas, somewhat like they do in New York and in Los Angeles? Maybe. Their mayor would like that, and he would like to steal the... that's next. It's on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Brought to you by New Balance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially.
You got everything. Is Dallas the best sports city in America? Oh, I just opened up a can of worms. I know you Chicago people will lose your mind. Boston will. Detroit's a good sports town. Denver's a good sports town. We'll have this conversation in June or July. What's the best sports town in America? But Dallas is up there, right? Dallas is a great sports town. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. You can get in today at 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610. If for whatever reason you're still paying a toll, we'll take care of that for you. And you can send emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com or JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. So this all relates to another story. When one door closes, kind of a thing. you probably heard earlier this week, voters in Kansas City rejected a stadium tax that would have paid for upgrades to Arrowhead Stadium and built a new stadium for the Kansas City Royals. Now, look, this is an older stadium. It's an insane fan base. I'm not going to lie. I think I'm a little surprised that they voted this down. Were you when you heard the results?
I'm not, because at some point in time, NFL owners need to put up their worth to go back into their stadium.
Yeah,
and
that's what.
And Clark Hunt, man, he is gonna become a villain very soon, because he's an owner. He owns the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
He has a Super Bowl champion team. He has one of the best quarterbacks ever. Remember that NFL PA survey that came out? One of the facilities that doesn't do upgrades is Kansas City.
One of the facilities that doesn't, because they don't spend money on it. Do they own it?
And so and Clark Hunt was very defiant of, this isn't who we didn't guarantee them new locker rooms or anything just because of a survey. And you're like, we have a dynasty rolling and you don't even want to put it back in your team. And what's going to happen is now they're going to pit the threat of leaving against the city to leverage more money for themselves.
Well, and in fact, the mayor of Dallas is really helping them. Clark Hunt didn't even have to start this thing. Now, I don't know if Clark Hunt knows Eric Johnson, who is Dallas's mayor, but the mayor of Dallas publicly went out yesterday and supported the Kansas City Chiefs moving, and I do say back because that's where they started, back to Dallas. They started there as the Texans. This was a sales tax. It was what, a fraction of a cent sales tax, right? Increase in the sales tax.
Yeah, and so reading into it, what's interesting is one of the public, I forget the exact role, policymakers is a former Kansas City Royal who won World Series, and he was actually against it for the city.
Really?
And these are the things you get into, and we've been through it here, of just handing out money. And it's easy to say, hey, look, this is awesome. But for football facilities,
or baseball facilities for that matter,
baseball, at least you have, 80 plus days.
82 days.
I think if you are just
81,
at football facilities, now that's a lot of public money that you're putting in, and you're just asking for it. And I understand when communities push back and say, hey, hold up. We love you. We want a Super Bowl, but what are you doing money-wise? You're just getting off from us.
We saw it here in a small way, right? So I don't know if you knew this. Maybe you did. The Kansas City Chiefs were founded in Dallas in 1960. They moved to Kansas City in 1963. So the mayor of Dallas, Eric Johnson, is saying, come on. He said Dallas was named the top sports city in the United States because we play to win. As I've said previously, our market is big enough, growing enough, and loves football more than enough to support a second NFL team, especially a franchise with deep roots here, end quote. So, look, at this point, the Chiefs relocating to Dallas, I think, is a pipe dream for the Dallas mayor. I don't know if people want it or don't. I don't know. But it makes sense for some reasons, I guess. I mean, look, Texas, I don't think anybody loves football more than Texas. Dallas is passionate about the Cowboys, but it's growing. If New York and LA can support it, and you can argue that LA can or can't, whether they've embraced the Chargers. Dallas has an available stadium in the Cotton Bowl. Now, I don't know I don't know why they wouldn't just share Jerry's World. Maybe because Jerry owns the place, would say hell no, right? But Stan Kroenke, the Rams owner, owns SoFi, doesn't he?
Yeah, but that was my thought too. Is these in LA and New York, they share the same stadium. Jerry Jones built, that's the Dallas Cowboys stadium.
Yeah, he's not sharing.
And everything they built, the way it's laid out, it's for the Cowboys now. And if you throw a lot of money, maybe he thinks differently about it. But this would be, if you move the Kansas City Chiefs, now their lease in Kansas City is until 2030. The Chiefs in Arrowhead Stadium.
They've got a lease. Okay.
Is the Cotton Bowl is that an upgrade?
I was just going to say, I got to believe, and I've not been in the Cotton Bowl, but I got to believe it's worse than what they're in now.
So are you talking about building a brand new stadium in Dallas to house the different NFL?
Or upgrading the Cotton Bowl? Look, the Cotton Bowl game moved out of the Cotton Bowl. The Cotton Bowl is not played in the Cotton Bowl. The only thing I know that's played in the Cotton Bowl is that the OU Texas game, right? I mean, I'm sure there's other things, but I don't know. Look, the other thing is, who is the or one of the two most influential owners in the National Football League? It's Jerry Jones. And when you get in that room, Jerry tends to get what Jerry wants. If Jerry pushes against having another team in his turf, I think this is a little bit of blubbering, to be honest with you. Unless Jerry says, you know what? Yeah, well, I think it'd be good. Somehow Jerry makes money on it, right? And it makes sense. Bring the Chiefs back home, and it'd be good for that. Fine. Then it happens.
Super Bowl champion playing in my stadium.
Right. Or however he sees it. But I don't, to your point, everything is branded Cowboys. I see no way he wants to share that market with another NFL team, and hence I don't believe it'll happen. And the mayor can talk all he wants, and the mayor probably got a call from Jerry Jones this morning or last night. Like, what the hell? Mayor, what the hell are you doing? Right?
Everyone's got dollar signs on the mind.
Oh, that's right. Now, does that mean the Chiefs won't move? I mean, there's a city in their state that just lost football recently, right?
Never put it past any of these franchises when it comes to them not getting what they want for stadiums.
Look, I look at a franchise in the Chiefs, and there's some storied franchises, right? You can go to the Packers, Cowboys, Steelers, Bears. Chiefs in our lifetime kind of are one of them, aren't they? When you go into our big boss's office and you see that Len Dawson picture of Len Dawson sitting there with a Fresca and a cigarette sitting on the bench during the Super Bowl, that's classic. But to your point, man, I don't put it past anybody. Would you ever say Packers will never move out of Green Bay? I mean, I think most people say, oh, they'll never move. But at some point, that stadium's going to get antiquated too, man. There's only so much you can do. And I was there a couple of years ago. It's beautiful, and they've added on and done all these new things. But at some point, right? And who's paying for it? And I'm not mad at anybody here. I'm not mad at the people of Kansas City saying, no, man, we're not paying for you to get richer. Now, the way I saw it was a fraction of a cent of a tax that seems somewhat minuscule, but I guess it adds up. But I saw this and I think, no, it feels a little blustery from the mayor. However, it wouldn't surprise me if there was something there, man. Watch it. Just watch it. It's not going to happen tomorrow. I got to believe we hear from Jerry today, right? Everybody's running to Jerry today.
Yeah, there will be a response,
right,
about another NFL team.
And you'll know damn well how he stands and where this thing goes. And if he says, well, I'm open to having a conversation and welcoming in the Hunts, our fine city, well, then okay, then you got a story.
Well, who knows? He might hang out with Clark Hunt a lot. Apparently, Clark Hunt lives in Dallas.
Okay. All right, maybe they play at the same country club. But if he says, hell no,
then it ain't happening.
Dallas Cowboys own this town. Yeah.
San Antonio Chiefs.
Okay.
Austin Chefs.
So San Antonio is interesting because the Alamo Dome has been kind of wanting a team there for a long time. And again, you want to talk about Texas? I mean, San Antonio is a big market that doesn't have it. I was thinking about them for the next baseball market too. But I could absolutely see San Antonio. I mean, are we looking to move them now?
They're going to start playing that game. They're going to start flirting.
Where are we going? St. Louis gets in this? Birmingham? San Antonio? Oh, I mean, Memphis? I think it's out there a lot. All right, 505-246-06. Chiefs fan, and I know you're there. How do you feel about that? I went through it, man. My favorite team moved years ago, and I stayed with my team because I left the town first, right? But, yeah, how do you feel about that? And just as an NFL fan, kind of feels different, doesn't it? It doesn't feel right. All right, 505-246-0610. That's how you get there. I want to hit some baseball last night. Another team that's moving, but they may make a move before they move. What? They may play in a minor league park. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for March Madness from the first four to the final four.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
AM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Well, I think it's more unlikely the Cowboys get a roommate than the Chiefs. Sacramento River Cats are going to get a roommate. Why do I care, Jeff? And by the way, who the hell are the Sacramento River Cats? AAA franchise of the Giants. They play in Sacramento, obviously, same league as the Isotopes. But they may get a major league team playing in their stadium. The fans of Sacramento may get 3 years of big league, if you call it big league baseball, in the Oakland A's. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. The A's are drawing an average. JJ, this is insane. Like college basketball teams draw more than this. 6,438 fans. They're 1-5 to start the season. They had 6 home games. They got swept by the Red Sox and whatever. You know they're moving to Vegas, or at least they're planning on moving to Vegas, but that whole stadium deal in Vegas is not going to be done theoretically until 2028. They're trying to renegotiate a deal to stay in Oakland, but the people in Oakland don't trust this Fisher guy because he's maybe the worst owner ever in the history of Major League Baseball, John Fisher. And that's saying something, man, because you've had the March shots and you've had all kinds of horrible ones. The A's are facing a deadline. So Major League Baseball, I don't know if you know this. Major League Baseball basically puts out next year's schedule in May. So they just started the season last week, but they put out get their schedule done in May. They make it public in July for the next year. Well, where is this franchise playing? They've said they want to leave. They've got the approval to leave. They want to go to Vegas. And JJ, they can't go to Vegas because, well, there's nowhere really for them to play. And so they're trying to negotiate a deal with Oakland to stay in the Coliseum for 3 more years. Oakland wants a 5-year lease with an opt-out after 3, $97 million due, blah, blah, blah. And so they went over to Sacramento, and there's a report out of Sacramento that they're going to announce here in the next couple of days they're playing the next couple of years in Sacramento. That's great for the fans of Sacramento. I think Sacramento's going to be auditioning. They want Major League Baseball. And this traveling circus is just a gong show to me. And honestly, it feels like it's just an embarrassment to Major League Baseball. And you've got a team that, A, is horrible. Horrible. What was the over-under? The betting over-under was like 56 games. 56.5 on them to win in a 162-game season.
This is the plot to Major League.
Yeah.
Like tanking a baseball team to move it, and it's a mess. The Las Vegas stuff seems uncertain now. The Tropicana just closed.
They closed it the other day.
They want to tear it down and build a stadium, but I know there's been some voices in Las Vegas that even have been pushing back.
Their mayor.
On the move.
Yeah.
Mayor's staying busy all across the country. And I don't know where this goes. Because we're talking a Major League Baseball team.
Sharing a minor league park.
Not just, a year. It's going to, there is no timetable on when a stadium is going to be built or where this team is going to be playing.
Can you imagine the Diamondbacks coming in, moving into here? Isotopes Park. It's all branded Isotopes. And you got a major league club. And it'll be cool. You get to see Major League Baseball, and Ohtani's coming in next week.
Probably a better stadium for the A's to play in Sacramento.
Well, I have no doubt.
Than the Coliseum right now.
No, I have no doubt it is. And they're drawing 6,000. So they'll sell that place out. It's like 10,000 seats, and with berm seating, with grass seating, it's up to a little over 14,000, which is more than they're getting now, almost double. Which I'm not worried about the facility itself. I'm worried about the whole concept of it. Honestly, I got a big league club playing in a stadium that's branded for another franchise's AAA team. I got a schedule around them. Everything about it is so minor Bush League. By the way, do you know the city of Oakland on this one? When they were going through this whole thing, the city of Oakland agreed there was a $12 billion waterfront mini city that they were going to build at the Howard Terminal, right there on the water. So they held the city hostage, basically. And the city said, all right, I'll tell you what, yeah, we're in. And they have the plans for this $12 billion mini city that they were going to build. And then John Fisher said, yeah, we're out.
Yeah.
They got to renegotiate their TV deal if they go to Sacramento because it's not the same market.
Well, that's a major issue with Major League Baseball right now is they do not have a lot of good TV deals because, you remember Root Sports Rocky Mountain, all those things?
Right.
Most of them collapsed. And so Major League Baseball is running the television broadcast for a lot of teams right now.
What's the Rockies? What's it called? Is it AT&T, Root?
Not anymore.
So what do I
So it's pretty much if you
turn on 686 last night.
They are playing them on. I don't know the exact channels, but you can find them.
Yeah, no, I found them last night, and it's 686, and it's where Root was, and AT&T Sports, and whatever they call them. All those
everything is being not everything for teams like that. It's being controlled by Major League Baseball.
By the way, they scored 8 runs last night,
and they lost,
and they gave up 9. I turned it on. I'm like, wow, okay, they're getting shut out again. Oh, they scored 2 runs, and then they scored 8 in the rain. It looked miserable. Did you watch that? 37 degrees and raining.
Chicago baseball.
That's the worst. Like snow on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be all damp and cold.
Oh, and just looking at Pittsburgh was the same way yesterday. I was watching the game there. They DirecTV is offering me that that here's your tease. You got the Major League Baseball package. Just jump around and watch games. And I was just watching miserable people after miserable people, just sitting there, bundled up, cold, wet, damp. I was in Washington, the Nationals game. All right, Jerry Palm coming up at 8:30, CBS Sports. He is at the Final Four. When we come back, speaking of the Final Four, travel is so glamorous. Until it's not. UConn didn't get in until the middle of the night. They're trying to move their whole schedule around. What happened, why, and what next? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
for surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Travel is so glamorous. You've been doing a bunch of it the last few years. It's glamorous. It's easy, isn't it? Airports, planes, delays. Oh, but if you fly charter, JJ, then it's easy. I mean, you don't have to go through security. You don't deal with the airport. I mean, you just go get on the plane. They feed you. It's the opening drive. Good morning to you. Merry Thursday. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. The number to get in today, 505-246-0610. Come on in. You can send emails to that Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. So UConn boarded a flight in at Hartford's airport. They were going to the Final Four. It's in Arizona. Their flight was scheduled to leave at 6 o'clock Eastern time. All right. 6 o'clock, figure about a 4 or 5 hour trip. 6 is 5 is 11, but you take the 2 off because you're gaining 3 hours back, so you're getting in about 8 o'clock. All right. And they got media day and all that stuff today. JJ, their flight took off at about 1:30 in the morning. They had mechanical issues, and then they had to bring in another plane. And because there was a 5 hour delay, they had a crew problem because the crew had timed out. And you got, the airline rules that the crew and the staff, and they've got to be, so they had to break up their traveling party in smaller planes and whatever. I think Danny Hurley took all this, by the way, because he is Mr. right by the book and routine. So they got in at about 3:15 this morning, local time, which is 6:15. So they spent all night on the plane. So the NCAA is working with them to try and fix this. I'm trying to imagine. I hope there was a camera on Danny Hurley during all this. I know he was tweeting, and we're still not we still haven't left. But UConn got in late. The other two teams did get in yesterday. They got in the afternoon, and they'll go through their stuff. The NCAA is going to try to get them a nap today at some point. But they've got practice. They've got media obligations. And, travel's glamorous. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. I got some emails from you. Caitlin Clark equals Ronda Rousey, according to Carl. Jeff, remember all the hype? Rousey was finally going to put women's MMA on the map. And then she was upset by Holly Holm, who 99% of the country had never heard of, and now who cares about women's MMA? The first game Iowa loses, does everyone jump off the bandwagon? No, A, because she's not the only star in the game. B, I don't believe MMA fell off the map on the women's side. I believe they still headline. It
didn't fall off the map. It just, we are not all over it because Holly Holm has been in the octagon a little bit.
No, we're not all over. I mean, people are still watching women's fights.
And Ronda Rousey
absolutely
built women's MMA in the UFC. She became like must watch. It was almost Mike Tyson like. You know, how quick is she going to get the armbar? And so Ronda Rousey built it up. Holly Holm came in and said, hey, we can have diverse skill sets as women in the octagon. Beat Ronda Rousey, which to me that doesn't take away what she did. Rousey was the main attraction. And now you have legit, well-rounded women's fighters in the UFC.
Which is not dissimilar to what Caitlin Clark has been. Must-see TV, right? I mean, I'll give him Caitlin Clark equals Ronda Rousey to some respect. Bringing a whole lot of new eyes to her game. Yeah. But do I believe that once Caitlin Clark is gone, nobody's going to watch the women's game? No, people were watching it before. It was escalating. It's escalated much more rapidly since she's been there.
And there's been fantastic stories since then, like Amanda Nunes being a 2-division champ and one of the best I've ever seen. Like it's there.
People who follow it follow. Yeah. Like, is it ever going to be? I don't know. Women's basketball isn't going to surpass men's basketball in popularity, but it surpassed whatever it's ever done in the past.
It is becoming a staple in March. Like this is the high ceiling mark. You know, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, but I think what you're going to continue to see is good numbers for women's basketball in March.
Bruin James, you want to talk about Caitlin Clark? Good day, sir.
Yeah, hold on. You're talking about women's basketball. Okay, growing up in the IE, there's a trivia question. If you grew up in IE, who's the best basketball player to come from IE?
Cheryl Miller.
Cheryl Miller.
Yep.
Exactly. Okay, so
Inland Empire.
And then over there in Chino, you had Diana Taurasi. The girls would play after the boys, like the varsity, So growing up in IE, you follow a lot of girls basketball. Yeah. So to what you're saying is it going to take over? No, but there's a lot of people that me watch it. Go and watch. Especially if like Diane Taurasi or if they're a big recruit, you go and watch the game. And and you watch the game, and the gymnasium is packed.
No doubt.
But anyway, going to Caitlin Clark, what I said yesterday was, you let Caitlin Clark score. You let her score. But what you try to do is you try to take the other guys out of the game.
Yeah.
You try to take the other team out of the game. And
the other players.
If you could do that, you could just let her score and then take everybody else out. And get her legs tired from shooting a lot. You know what I mean?
Got it.
That's what I.
Yeah, you're going to make somebody else beat you. What you're trying to say now is let someone else beat you. The rest of the team, she's going to get hers. She's going to eat. Just don't let everybody else beat you.
Exactly.
Got it.
So,
all right.
So anyway, hey, I like you do that trivia question. Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, Cheryl Miller, dude. I guess Cheryl used to beat Reggie back in the day.
And I
Riverside ball.
Absolutely see that.
Yeah, she could ball. All right, this one's
so just play 5-on-4. Just let Clayton Clark play by herself, and you can just guard everyone else.
Well, what he's saying is she's going to get hers. I think is what he's saying today. She's going to get hers.
Yeah, I did a 180 from yesterday.
Yeah. Let her get her 41. Mm-hmm. Keep everybody else from getting 21. All right. Look, there's a lot of ways, and they've been beaten now. It's not like they're undefeated.
4 times.
Do you think they're going to win the national championship? I do not. I think South Carolina is really good.
I think South Carolina is the best team. I think it's funny how just because I was an offensive team, people are acting like the women's college basketball coaches don't know how to set up a defense. Like, oh, yeah, I know how to take her away the step back from her left. Okay. They still run plays to get other people open. You still run players off screens.
Well,
it's not as easy as just let Caitlin Clark score 50 and no one's going to score points.
What helped her the other day is her teammates were making shots, right? And so when she distributes the ball so well, when everybody else started making shots, that whole let her get hers but don't let anybody else get theirs. Kind of went out the window. You still got to defend her, dude. I mean, if you're gonna guard her 1-on-1, she's gonna get 50, right? If you're just gonna throw a vanilla, so you're not. Are you gonna switch on her? Are you gonna play through the screens? Are you gonna double her? What are you gonna do? And if you're gonna double her and everybody else is gonna make shots, now you got a problem. And watching the rest of that team hit shots, Gabby Marshall hit a couple big shots. The big girl down low was scoring. Now they can't rebound. They're small. That's why I don't think they're going to win.
Oh yeah, South Carolina will destroy them
on the board.
Inside.
Well, and LSU.
Yeah, and South Carolina's better offensively inside.
That's where I just look at South Carolina.
I
don't know if they're going to get through UConn.
You got to get through UConn first.
I don't know if they're getting through
This weekend, I'm so excited. Like the women's Final Four, just amazing storylines in it. It's going to be good basketball. The men's Final Four, DJ Burns, Zach Edey, kind of the headline matchup. But then you have UConn and Alabama on the other side. And I love the fact that we all think that, hey, we know how to stop a great scorer all of a sudden.
That's good. Well, you said you can't stop it.
You know what? Just actually try to play defense on everyone else. Not like they're running screens or plays or anything.
505-246-0610. Jerry Palm at 8:30. Going to go out to Arizona and catch up with him. I think his travel went better than UConn's. When we come back, I got a bunch of correspondence from you. You're in on the baseball, what's got to happen. And golfers, not golf, but now golfers are starting to sound a little panicked about their game. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burkia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size.
In Oklahoma City, a rough start for them. Gene's concerned. Albuquerque's AAA franchise has got to get going, Jeff. They got to get going. Remember the coach last Friday, before you distracted him with talk of overpriced desserts? He said they learned their lesson last year about getting out of the starting gate. They weren't going to wait until deep into the season to make their move. I don't. I just remember talking about I don't remember him saying that. Do you? By the way, we did get him that Sunday. The what do they call it Sunday out there? It's
Thunder Cup.
Thunder Cup. Yeah, we did. I made sure that got done. I didn't make sure. I didn't do it. I saw Chef Grego out at the ballpark on Friday night. He said, nope, it was just delivered. Mr. Traub, general manager, wrote it down, made sure they got his birthday Sunday was down there. So, yeah, gee, I don't remember anything other than the dessert talk. That's really all I remember. I'm kind of kidding. Yeah, it's a rough start.
Should not have distracted the manager. Now he's not locked in, and it has hurt the Albuquerque Red Sox.
Is it my fault?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Richard's in on your organization. Jeff, the Hartford Yard Goats kick off tomorrow. Not a moment too soon. That way we can start hearing Rockies win at every level except for Major League and AAA. AA is where JJ's organization really shines.
Jordan Beck is the real deal.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Yep, he's their top prospect, and he's mashing.
He's actually number 4 in the organization.
Is that right?
He's special. Go see him while you can.
All right, this is text line 505-246-0610. Jess, when I was growing up, not far from Iowa, we got to watch the Iowa State girls basketball state tournament on TV. They played 3-on-3 and could cross half court. It was fun watch. Thanks. It's from Steve. They played 3-on. He's kidding me, right? I mean, I think he is.
Cross half court.
And they can cross half. Like, what? I think he's kidding me. All right. This is real. The Masters is coming next week. I don't know if you know this. It's a tradition unlike any other.
Hello, friends.
He's still doing that, right? He's going to get off my commercials and start doing golf again?
Just chill, sit back.
You got players really saying, all right, they got to figure this out because they're kind of destroying our game. So you got guys like John Rahm, who's the defending Masters champ. Phil Mickelson, Bryson DeChambeau, they're all live golfers. And they're saying the sport needs to be reunited before too many fans are turned away for good. Quote, and this is from, I believe it's from Rahm. The fans are what drive this. Oh, this is DeChambeau. The fans are what drive the game. If we don't have fans, we don't have golf. We're not up here entertaining. That's the most important thing as of right now. The low-hanging fruit, there's got to be a way to come together. They're playing in Doral, Trump National, Miami this weekend. Live is. The PGA is playing wherever the PGA is playing. And Rory McIlroy is even saying, look, man, we got to figure this out. JJ, I was reading a bunch of this, and McIlroy said, look, this is just not sustainable. McIlroy says, quote, there's got to be a correction. I think what's happening is not sustainable right now. I can't do his accent. So something needs to happen to try to bring it all back together so we can all move forward so that we don't have division that's sort of ongoing. They keep going down these different paths, and I just don't see how that benefits anyone in the long run. I think it's a shame for the overall game of golf. Ding, freaking ding. Now, I guess the commissioner's having conversations with the Saudi prince, and JJ, I can't agree with him more. Again, I'll watch golf. I watched the tournament last week. I was entertained. I watched Scotty Scheffler miss 2 6-foot putts that stunned me on 17 and 18 and lost by a stroke. Now you're going to say who won, and I'm going to go, that dude that won for the first time, right? I've been watching it. But I think they're right. I think people are just going, yeah, whatever. And all that matters, and some of you will tell me all that ever mattered was just the majors. But people are just going, whatever, dude. The guys on Live realizing they faded away. They made a lot of money, but nobody's watching them. Nobody is. And I haven't seen the numbers, but it feels like less people are watching the PGA.
Do you, in your summer schedule outside of the majors, rotate event styles? Because you can't have PGA and Live go forward. And if I am, the PIF,
that's the Saudi public investment.
Why do I bought Live Golf and all these players? Then why do I want to sink $3 billion into the PGA Tour and have these two things? Why wouldn't I want to try to smash them together?
Because it's destroying the game. And to your point, if I bought all this and spent all this money, I don't give a damn if I'm destroying the game, even though I'm saying I'm trying to grow the game and better the game. I'm not. I'm trying to own it. I think that's where the rift is. There's evidently been talks between the PGA and Live. The PGA Tour, and this is, remember when this came down? That $3 billion investment deal, there was this consortium of U.S. sports teams, that Strategic Sports Group with the Fenway Park deal and all that. They got together, and we all said, well, okay, what does it mean? So they've got this agreement, and there's negotiations on a merger between PGA and Live, and it just feels like it's a distant prospect at this point. And so what does it mean? And meanwhile, they're going on and doing their thing. And, like McIlroy said, ultimately, Live has to do they got some of the best players in the world. They're playing some really good golf. But are we watching them? You're going to watch some of them at the Masters. I think we're going to watch them. Well, I know I will. Are you going to watch Masters next week?
Yes.
Right?
I watch major golf.
Yeah. And I think that's where many people are. Right? And you can't grow the game just by watching majors. And the game was on a rise with all these wonderful stars. And people were watching the Byron Nelson. And they were watching the John, the Farmers and whoever sponsored tournaments. They're watching.
Yeah, but you need it together. You need DeChambeau and his antics in a tournament with Dustin Johnson, Jon Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, down the list.
You've got great golfers. Now, I have no idea how Dustin Johnson's playing or Bryson DeChambeau's playing or Jon Rahm's playing. Do you? I don't think I've seen those guys hit a ball this year. I don't even think I've seen a highlight. I've seen Scheffler. I've seen Rory. I've seen the PGA guys. And some people go, yeah, whatever. We always talk about how they're killing themselves. When we talk about how college athletics, what are they doing to themselves? I've never seen a sport. I don't want to say kill yet because it's not dead. But harm itself the way they did. And I understand it. And what was the root of it? Money, of course. And the Saudis are pulling out of the ground. They're throwing it around like crazy, and I get it. But when you've got the alarm being sounded now from players on both sides of this thing going, we got to figure this out. Guys, it's a little soft for me coming from the Live guys. Hey guys, you took all that money. What did you think was going to happen? Like, with all due respect, you ran and took the money, and now you want to, let's reconcile, let's all play together. But now I got all my money. I pardon me if it's a little tone deaf for me. All right, when we come back, we're going to Arizona. Jerry Palm, a Purdue alum. He's like a pig in slop. Is that a bad analogy? Like a palm in slop? We're going to talk to CBS Sports' Jerry Palm. Get you ready for the Final Four, how it is down in Arizona, his thoughts on the way the tournament has gone, coaching changes, all of that stuff. We'll do that when we come back. Hey, your vehicle's dirty. Mine's dirty too. We just had storms. I got an appointment with On the Spot Automotive Detailing, and I suggest you do as well. Take some of your tax money or just take care of your investment and have them come out and detail your vehicle. On the spot means where it's convenient for you and when it's convenient for you. When they're done, it looks and feels and smells just like the day you took it off the lot. You can have that new car feel without having to go get a new car. On the Spot Automotive Detailing was awarded Best of the City. That's because they will make your car look and feel and smell like brand new. They're the best when it comes to what they do. They also have window tinting services that'll help you prep for this coming summer heat. So make the move today and visit On the Spot Automotive Detailing, OTSdetailing.com. It's OTSdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican.
The late game will be Alabama and UConn, a 4-1 matchup. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Back to your phone calls in just a bit, but let's get out to beautiful Arizona. CBS Sports' Jerry Palm is there. He joins us this morning. Good morning, Jerry. How you living?
I'm living great. Are you kidding? I've been going to this event every year since 2002, and I finally got to bring my team along.
Yeah, look, and I was saying earlier, I know you've been covering this event for a long time. It just hits different when your alma mater's in it, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Last time they were in it, it wasn't my alma mater yet.
Right? That's something else.
I was a junior in high school in 1980. So
how do you separate being a fan? How do you separate being a fan and a pro?
It depends on the situation I'm in. When I need to be a pro, I'm a pro, and otherwise I'm a fan. So been walking around Arizona. I mean, we just got in last night, but, you know, in my Zach Edey Purdue hockey sweater.
Nice.
But I won't go to the press conference wearing one.
Yeah, good idea. That's a good call.
But it might show up at open practice tomorrow. You know, so we'll see.
It's fun, and I know you're having fun with this, and it's good. Hopefully, your travel was better than UConn's. They were delayed.
Oh my gosh, how could it not be?
Well, so how does that affect them? And will the NCAA work with them around their schedule? They got in at 3:15 in the morning, which is 6:15 body time. They're going to give them a nap today.
Yeah, I think they pushed their schedule a little bit, but not too much. I mean, the schedule is a schedule in a lot of ways, so there's really only so much you can do. But yeah, I think that, you know, they're going to get some sleep. They'll be all right. They're college kids. They would need a ton of sleep.
And they're really good, dude. They're running through this tournament. You know, when they beat San Diego State, people kind of clowned on San Diego State around here. And then they ran Illinois out and ran on a 30-0 run, and I'm like, really? I don't hear. All you people went quiet.
I mean, if anybody can give up if any really good team, because Illinois is a really good team, can give up a 30-0 run at them because they're sometimes undisciplined, especially on defense, but also on offense, because they'll rush shots, and and that just compounds the problem. So. I'm not surprised. I mean, I guess I'm surprised that they had a 30-0 run against Illinois. But, thinking about it, if you're going to have a 30-0 run on somebody, it's probably going to be Illinois.
Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, is with us from beautiful Arizona.
I know, Jerry, it was funny hearing how UConn was talking, trying to build it up like, hey, they stacked this region against us, and it's going to be so hard for us. And there they are. What stands out to you about what UConn is able to do on both sides of the basketball to make them this level of good this year?
They're just really efficient. Donovan Clingan is a rim protector. Now, he doesn't play a ton of minutes, But when he's in the game, he's a rim protector. If we get the matchup that I think everybody's kind of hoping to see, everybody who's just a fan of basketball, which is the two of the three teams that dominated college basketball this year. But Zach Edey against Donovan Clingan would be an interesting matchup because I've probably told you this before. I thought that if there was one team that had a guy that could at least give playing Zach one-on-one a shot, it was UConn. And he's been a real defensive force in this tournament. So, of course, he hasn't had to play somebody like Edey, but, he protects the rim. He makes everything harder for the offense. And then when they get a rebound, man, they're up the floor and getting a good shot. So, it puts a lot of pressure on you to get back when you miss a shot. You end up missing a lot of shots. So it's tough work playing UConn when they're on their game because they're very talented and they're very well coached.
Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, joining us here on The Sports Animal. The West, I thought, was really interesting with all the other storylines that were taking over the tournament, and then it ended up being Alabama and Clemson battling it out to get to the Final Four. What did you think of what we saw in the West?
Championship game,
right? No Nick Saban, no Dabo Swinney. I know.
Yeah, in the Rose Bowl out there in L.A. That was weird, and I actually got to see both of those teams earlier this year in Canada as part of the doubleheader. With Purdue played Alabama and Clemson played TCU, and those are Clemson really did a great job in this tournament. I mean, they were disciplined. They were locked in, doing the things that they do well, and Alabama too. But Alabama, their styles are so different. Like Alabama's playing fly up and down the floor, a lot of 3-point shots or drives through the lane. So they spread the floor to create driving lanes to get to the basket. Sears had a tremendous regional. So, Alabama's got a shooter's chance, or in boxing you'd say a puncher's chance, to beat UConn just because if they're hitting their shots, it puts a lot of pressure on them. And if they're not hitting their shots, UConn's going to get a bunch of runouts. So Alabama's going to have to shoot really well if they're going to, hang around in this game and have a chance to win.
I always believe the NCAA tournament, it's been guard dominated. And you look over the history, great guards have played so well. And I'm not telling you there's not great guards in this tournament, in this Final Four, but I look at the three of these four teams, and I look at Zach Edey and DJ Burns and Clingan, and I'm like, wow, the bigs have really asserted themselves. And DJ Burns against Edey is interesting to me. It's a different kind of a big, and obviously Edey's so much taller. But I guess I didn't watch enough DJ Burns to realize how good of a touch he had and how skilled he was. Like I'm intrigued. I want to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be different shooting over 7'4".
Yeah.
And of course his biggest problem is if I'm NC State, I don't guard Edey at least initially with DJ Burns because he's too important to what you do offensively. So you got to keep him in the game because he gets in foul trouble sometimes. If you're getting in foul trouble against normal people, Zach fouls out almost all of your front line guys, or gets them at least in deep foul trouble every game. So that's a guy you got to keep on the floor. So if I'm NC State, I'm not initially guarding him with DJ Burns because I need to keep him on the floor. And there's a chance that Purdue won't guard Burns with Zach Edey either. They may go with Trey Kaufman-Renn initially. We'll see.
Yeah.
But Edey is such a force in the paint on both ends of the floor that, it's going to – DJ Burns isn't going to get that little floater over the top of Zach Edey as easily as he has other players. So, we'll see. If he ends up having a big game, that would obviously bode very well for NC State, but I'm not sure I would count on 29 points out of DJ Burns in this game.
I love storylines more than I love X's and O's, and I love all this. Alabama's never been here. Connecticut's trying to win 2 in a row, and it would be their 5th or 6th of the century, which would make them the best team of the century, the best program of the century. Purdue hasn't been here since 1980, and North Carolina State, 83 was the last time when it was in Albuquerque when they won the championship. And I try to explain to people, like Gene Cady never won, never got to the Final Four. When they, I think it was Zach Edey who gave Gene Cady a piece of the net the other day. I thought it was one of the greatest moments. What does this mean to your fan base? Last year when San Diego State was there, I was trying to explain to people, it wasn't mean to a community, to a fan base. For Purdue to get back for the first time in 44 years, what does it mean to that fan base?
Oh, it means everything. It's been like starvation. And there've been so many. It's not like Purdue just loses and they're out. Purdue loses in just dramatic, historic fashion. Just gut-wrenching fashion. And we've probably talked about some of this stuff before, but the end of the Virginia game, a team that wasn't supposed to get to the Final Four, they weren't seeded for it. They miss a free throw. He gets tapped all the way back halfway to the other basket, and they end up getting a shot at the buzzer to send it to overtime. Stuff like that, fairly ridiculous. Fairly Dickinson, obviously is a disaster, but it's one disaster after another for Purdue. Isaac Haas gets hurt. It's just, it's not just how they don't get there or that they don't get there. It's how they don't get there. And it's just excruciating. So to finally get there and get that monkey off their back, and to do it while Gene Katie is still with us, he's an 87-year-old guy, so he just moved back to West Lafayette during this season so he could be around the team more. And it's been great having him around, and the kids love him. But it's especially special because he's here to see it.
Yeah, I can hear it in your voice. He's Jerry Palm from CBS Sports, probably more so a proud Purdue alum enjoying this Final Four in Arizona. He's with us on the Sports Animal.
Well, Jay, I just want to get your overall thoughts on college basketball and the men's and women's side. And it was amazing watching Iowa and LSU the other night and just what this weekend means for college athletics, because there's so much just positivity around the game right now, and it can go in so many different directions with all the changes.
Yeah, this is great. And you've got the women's Final Four going on at the same time with Caitlin Clark in Iowa, and Paige Buchers at UConn. There are stars on every team in that Final Four, and of course South Carolina undefeated with Dawn Staley, and the women's game is just growing by leaps and bounds. And we've got a great Final Four here with two of the three best teams in the country, and a couple of more Cinderella, especially one Cinderella story. So the storylines are great for both of these tournaments, and I don't know, not everybody has caught up with women's basketball yet or got on board with women's basketball. This is the time to do it because the game is getting better and better and better, and there's more and more stars, and it's really fun to watch. Watch the men's Final Four, of course, and the women's Final Four is the day before, so Friday, Sunday, the men is Saturday, Monday. So that's 4 great days of basketball, and you should just take it all in.
Yeah. Hey, really quick on some coaching stuff. I initially I was surprised Andy Enfield left SC to go to SMU, and then I kind of dug a little deeper. Maybe I'm not. Is this Eric Musselman stuff real? It's getting a lot of noise. Muss going back to Southern California, he played at the University of San Diego. He's a SoCal kid. Yeah. It feels like it's a good fit, and it's getting a lot of noise.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all, actually. Had Arkansas been better this year, Arkansas kind of underachieved this year. It's funny. They beat Purdue in a scrimmage at Arkansas about a week before the season started. And, but they never played like that again. And, scrimmages are scrimmages. But it was a team for which a lot was expected, and they never got anywhere near it. And that's, could be a little bit of noise around him there. Not that they're going to fire him or anything. He's been too good. But, if you wanted to maybe find an opportunity to go back home, this might be a great opportunity to go back home.
Where does Arkansas go?
Excellent question. I don't even know where to start with Arkansas. I haven't thought that far ahead. That's a tough job. SEC jobs are getting tough. But Arkansas supports that team well. So, yes, it's a tough job because the league is good, but you have really good support at Arkansas. They do care about basketball. So, they should be able to attract a really good candidate at Arkansas.
Yep. All right, you get off the plane. It's it's going to be 88 degrees in Phoenix today. Do you remember what that feels like coming out of the Midwest?
It's been a while. I did pack some clothes that are appropriate for that, but I also have to keep in mind that I'm indoors a lot.
Yeah. And you're professional. This is a professional trip, Jerry. It's a working trip.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Enjoy it, man. I love how
I'm
happy.
going to work on boilering up, and then later on today, I'm going to go to a press conference, and I'll work on that a little bit.
Maybe finally you drink enough to watch this team, huh?
Yeah. Finally, may have finally done it. Although I'm still experimenting.
Keep doing it.
So the conclusions aren't drawn, but not this early in the morning.
Find the right mix. Appreciate you getting
That's
up
right.
early. Let's do it again next week. We'll catch up. We'll
sounds
put a
good.
bow on it. Enjoy the trip. I know you will. It's fun, and it's just you just sound like you always sound good. But there's like this glow about you, if that even makes sense.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. I know it's been a long time.
Funny because Detroit was just nuts. It was 80% Purdue fans, and not that Tennessee doesn't support their team, but Purdue people, that's a 4-hour drive.
Yeah,
so it was Mackey North up there, and that was a lot of fun to have that many fans.
By the way, that Indiana State team's pretty good too. And
And a team from Indiana won the Division III title too.
Look at the Hoosier State reclaiming their game. Next, you're going to tell me Canada's going to win the Stanley Cup. The Hoosier State's reclaiming basketball, and Canada's going to. No, that's not going to happen. All right, well, good luck with it. Enjoy it, and we'll catch you next week. Have fun with it, Jerry.
All right, thanks.
Read him every day over on CBSSports.com. Follow him on the Axis at JP Palm CBS. He's the great Jerry Palm. That was good, man. He sounds different, doesn't he?
Gotta enjoy it.
It's everything you say, man. It's everything you say. I mean, seasons end. You're a sports fan. If you don't enjoy the moments like that where your team finally gets there, and I get it. Jerry's, CBS is paying for him, and he's on a work trip, and he's got a job to do. But his alma mater's in there for the first time since 1980. I mean, when we do this, it is so rare you're a fan, right? You and I have this conversation all the time. When was the last time you were a fan? Nuggets?
Yeah.
And it was a long time before that. I took a couple days right now and was a fan, and it was fun, dude. And you could hear it in his voice. It's a good time. All right, you can get in on anything he had to say. 505-246-0610. Your email's coming this morning. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com or JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. International Protective Service, IPS, takes security now to a whole new level, literally a new level. So for 18 years, IPS has offered standing guards with 24-hour patrols to protect homes and businesses in Albuquerque. Recently, they launched their service in Santa Fe, but now IPS Global Aviation is using a fleet of drones with high-definition cameras and analytics software to exceed your security expectations. So with these drones, IPS can monitor your next event or track emergency response. They can follow criminal activity that you can't see as well from the ground. These drones include thermal imaging. So IPS can help with eyes in the sky during the wildfire season as well. It's unmatched ability to watch from the air. On the ground, IPS continues to use highly trained armed officers to watch homes and businesses. That means so much to you, I know. It means a lot to me. They've been watching my home for years. They install cameras. They monitor them around the clock to deter criminal activity around your property and even offer personal bodyguards if there's a threat to your safety. So if you have a security issue, IPS has you covered. Their number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burkett. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. but it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Since he dislocated his shoulder back on January 27th, and he's been trying to get back in. Look, the Knicks were really in vogue pick to challenge the Celtics. December, January, they went on a run. And now they're 5th seed in the East. JJ, I know they've been playing without him, and they've been fading without him. This is a pretty big deal for them for this season because I know we all thought they were probably a year away anyway. But then they got hot, and people want to make a run. It's going to be hard to make a run without that piece.
Well, their year was kind of now to win a series,
right?
Because they have Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle. That was the combination. You bring in OG Anunoby, but then he got hurt and he hasn't played a lot. I think that they could beat the Magic in a first round series even without Julius Randle, but that's their ceiling now.
The world will be rooting for the Magic, right? Because everybody's going to be telling the Knicks are back. Now that the Knicks are in the playoffs, basketball's good again.
Well, there's that. Yeah. I think a lot of people will be going, the Orlando Magic are still in the NBA?
Yeah, who knew? Who knew basketball's relocation program?
Didn't Shaq and that Penny guy play there?
Yeah, they did commercials, right? I remember that. When we come back, it was a scene out of Slapshot, the old movie. Drop the puck. Drop the gloves in the National Hockey League. The game started, and everybody picked a dude and started throwing punches. It's the opening drive. This one's kind of classic. It's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the sports animal.
It's time.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hey, look, it's Dwight Goodman.
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Master of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bob.
It was like the old movie Slapshot, but it happened in the National Hockey League in 2024 last night. That old saying, I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. Yeah, it happened last night. Good morning. Merry Thursday to you. Good conversation this morning with Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. If you missed that, it's worth a listen. Go over to our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the opening drive. It's all right there, wherever you get your podcast. Jerry was giddy today. Just giddy.
As he should be.
I 100% agree.
I think in sports, it drags us down too many terrible areas too many times, and we forget to enjoy things. And there's a reason why we like sports, and it's not to hate on everything, even though that's kind of just the style that sports has become. So we saw it firsthand with the Lobos in Las Vegas and the buzz that generated the week that was, cutting down nets, getting ready for the NCAA tournament. It was fantastic.
And then when your team wins, enjoy it. You say this all the time, man. And Jerry Palm went to Purdue. He played in the band. His kid plays in the band. And Purdue's in the Final Four. And, yep, he's a pro, and he writes for CBS Sports. And like I asked him, I said, how do you differentiate between being a pro and being a fan? He says, when I need to be a pro, I'll be a pro. When I need to be a fan, I'll be a fan. I'm walking around in my Zach Edey hockey sweater right now, right? Look, I get it. Remember I came back last year from the Final Four, and I said, I just want Lobo fan to experience that. I just want what it does for a fan base. That's why I asked him that question. What does it mean? And his answer was like all the athletes. It means everything. What does it mean to finally get to the Final Four? What does it mean for this fan base, for the community? And I'd never experienced anything like it. And I want this fan base to experience it because I think it's a really good, passionate fan base. But when San Diego State got there and they'd never been there, people didn't know what to do.
Well, going that far is, I can't even wrap my head around that. Like, I would just be excited to play a second game in the NCAA tournament, let alone thinking that what it would be like to go to the Final Four. And it's steps along the way. And we learned after the fact that if the Lobos didn't win in Las Vegas, that they would not have been in the NCAA tournament. But, that's a good moment. As disappointing as it was, the Clemson game, cutting down nets, having that is good.
So take that moment and amplify it by 10, 20.
Billion.
Right? And even if you don't win, like I was telling somebody the other day, and I showed some pictures. The night of the semifinal game, the Saturday night in Houston last year, when Lamont Butler hit that shot, and that time frame after the game, and I don't know if it was a half hour or an hour. I don't. but walking the concourses of NRG Stadium in Houston, and it was just San Diego State people, Aztecs from the 60s through now, enjoying everything. The reason you watch sports, everybody was hugging, smiling, with a drink in their hand, buying drinks. It just everything you want it to be, and I want this fan base to get it. And that's kind of what Jerry sounded like today. It was kind of good. Then there's the other side of it. Maybe I'll kick your ass side of it. All right, last night, and I know we don't talk a lot of hockey, but get this. Go find this. If you go to CBSSports.com, it's the second story on their front page right now. You can watch the video. It's worth your time. So last night, the New Jersey Devils and New York Rangers played a game. Okay, hockey happens all the time. They dropped the puck. Nobody went after the puck. Everybody grabbed the dude and started fighting. In total, 8 players, 4 from each team, were ejected, receiving misconducts 2 seconds into the game. In 1958 of the first period, they were ejected for fighting. So the brawl was highlighted, and Matt Kempe of the Rangers and Curtis McDermott of the Devils went at it. Now, there was history between the two, because the last time they played back last month, Rempe of the Rangers chose not to fight McDermott early on. And then during the game, he knocked one of their defensemen out of the game with an elbow. Rempe received a 4-game suspension for that hit. So that's where this came from. And so McDermott said, "You're not getting away from me this time. You knocked one of my dudes out with a cheap shot. You're going." And it was long until they just flat out ran out of gas. It was like watching cars speed and then when they had nothing left. But the announcer's going, "There's 5 fights going, only 4 officials on the ice. Which ones do you break up?" It was classic. This was old school hockey.
Well, this isn't one where like, oh my gosh, like this was planned.
Yeah.
Because you don't have your fighters on the ice to start a game unless you know what's happening. So both head coaches probably felt like, all right, this is going to go down. We're on board with it. All those players getting injected. How about the fact that what's wild to me is Matt Rempe is a 1980s hockey player in 2024. Like, that dude does nothing but fight. Look at his game log. He does nothing but play 5 minutes, fight, and get kicked out of a game. And the Rangers are like, yeah, that's cool.
And there was always a dude like that on every team. You know, Marty McSorley was that for
yeah, they
Gretzky.
had it for a while.
They always had somebody.
Or even early 2000s.
Yeah. There was always a dude.
Just the enforcer, like, all right, we got this guy in case something goes wrong. And the game has just changed, and there's not a lot of that. But they legit have this dude on the roster that they're okay with him just fighting every single night, and this dude is fine with getting his face pounded
or
to
pounding
be on an NHL roster.
Yeah, or pounding. Look, let me just tell you, fighting is part of that game, and hockey people understand it. I learned so much about the game that year I spent working in the front office at the Scorpions. But and by the way, and I know I said this earlier, I went out and watched the Ice Wolves on Saturday night last week and loved it. They're going to go to the playoffs, and that's something you should sample. If you've not gone, if you've been out there, you get it. But the Ice Wolves it's such a fun brand of hockey. They do a great job. Stan Hubbard and that staff, unbelievable job. But hockey people get it, and there's certain things that you don't even have a conversation. There's going to be a fight, and when a dude comes and throws an elbow at your guy and knocks him out for 4 games, next time you see him, we're going to drop the puck and we're going to go.
But
and everybody knew it, and everybody accepts it, and that's just part of it. And we police ourselves. That's kind of the way the mentality.
Yeah, it's hockey being hockey in this regard, but it's like this dude's 21 years old, and he made his NHL debut back February 18th, and
you're talking about Rempe?
Matt Rempe,
yeah,
6'7", 241 pounds. Yeah. Like in this. It's just a wild story to me because this just doesn't exist in the NHL anymore. There's not these guys. You look at what he did in the month of March. The dude was on the ice for 6 minutes.
How much was he in the box?
And I'm sure his penalty minutes, he had 5 to 15. So 22 penalty minutes.
Wow, it is amazing.
32 penalty minutes in his debut month, where he averaged 4.5 minutes on the ice. They legit called up a 21-year-old who's like ecstatic to be in the NHL and be like, you know what, we're just gonna go old school and throw you out there, and you can just punch people in the face.
And you're our dude. You go 6'7",
4 minutes a game.
Yeah, It's old school hockey, baby. But and that's how it is. And I was watching the fight. I mean, it was pretty even. You know, the left hand grab a hold of the sweater, and the right hand just throw bombs.
Yeah, those are two big dudes, McDermott
Big
and
dudes,
Rempe.
man. Big dude. I mean, they're throwing too. They're throwing. A lot of it's hitting the side of the helmet. Like I'm gonna guess their hands hurt more than their faces did. But I love the hockey fights too, dude. I love the mentality. Let's go. Come on. Where are you going?
So Curtis McDermott, the New Jersey Devil, he fought.
Yeah.
6'5", 233.
Yeah. Throwing bombs right, hitting them in the ear, hitting them in the helmet. I mean, they're pretty good at defending their faces. They're both wearing visors, both in the visor, both in the. It's worth you taking a look at. But it's literally the puck dropped, and you had a yard sale on the ice, gloves and sticks everywhere, and these two dudes just pounded.
The only ones who didn't participate this time were the goalies. They just sat back.
Yeah, the goalies
All
sat back.
Goalies were like, I still want to play tonight. So.
There was a pretty good goalie fight though in the Ice Wolves game a few weeks ago. Goalies went at it. That's when I was trying to explain to Addie the other day. So how did the goalies get to fight? Oh, everybody else was fighting. They just kind of looked down at each other and said, all right, let's go, let's meet.
We got to do it.
Well, why were they mad at each other? They weren't really mad. Why were they? They were. Yeah, that when you say hockey being hockey, okay, that would be hockey being hockey.
Well, some of
and look at Rempe's coming off the ice, just waving at people. Yeah. Let's go, come on, bring me.
Well, it's some of my best hockey memories. Not just being at Stanley Cup parades and being multiple Avalanche titles. It's the Red Wings Avalanche when they were going at it, and the stuff that happened. Todd Bertuzzi, Patrick Waugh, goalie fights. Like it was something else.
There's a wide shot, so it's outside blue line to blue line. Literally, the puck drops and everybody throws their sticks and gloves in the air. Like there's a still shot. You can just stare at it. Everybody's like, all right, let's go. Find me a guy to fight. And everybody found a dude to throw hands at. All right, I'll take you. You want me? All right, you and me go. I don't have anybody to dance with. It's literally like a high school dance. Okay, you want to go? Okay, we're the last two left. Literally 6 and 11. We're the last two. Or it was 8 and 11. Literally. All right, everybody else is going. You want to dance?
Yeah, and I love after the game, everyone's like, I didn't know it was going to happen. What are you talking about? You got Matt Rempe on the ice at the opening face-off. You know what's going to happen.
AC said on Rempe, that punk actually cheap shot 2 Devils in 2 consecutive games. That's why McDermott challenged him last game and he chickened out. Yeah, he wouldn't fight last game and he wasn't getting away this time. He wasn't getting away from it. Oh. All right, 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610. Experiencing the Final Four, says this one when we get back. Get into that. And Cowboy fan, how do you feel about sharing your city with another NFL team? Say what? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Shut up, good!
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, You shouldn't be driving.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
6,300 people per game. About half of what Lobo basketball gets. Will play their home games the next 2 years in Sacramento. They will share Sutter Health Field with the AAA Sacramento River Cats, the Giants AAA franchise. The A's will play their big league games as a tenant in Sacramento for the next 3 years while their new stadium is being built in Las Vegas. And then evidently they'll move to Vegas, or at least that's the plan. But that was rumored. We talked about it earlier, and it was announced as official this morning, JJ. So I don't know if they're the Sacramento A's or the Capital City A's or what they're going to call them. Capital A's. Capital A. Just a capital A. Because that's what their hat says. It's just capital A. Capital A's wouldn't be bad, right?
Not too bad.
So, I look at this whole thing and I'm like, wow, I got a big league team that's going to be a secondary tenant in a minor league ballpark for 3 years, branded for the minor league team. They're not going to get to control, I don't think, any of the signage, right? All that signage is permanent. It's up there. It's sold. It's crazy to me. I asked you going into the break, what do you think Cowboy fan is on the potential of sharing Dallas with another team? I think we'll find out where Jerry Jones is, but the mayor of Dallas is basically planting the seed. Hey, since the Chiefs, the Super Bowl champion Chiefs, are not getting their new stadium deal in Kansas City, hey, come on home. They started in 1960 as the Texans, then moved to Kansas City. 2 teams in Dallas?
Well, just if you take a step back in your population, money, all that stuff, like it would make sense, but Oh, that would hurt Jerry Jones even more when the Dallas Chiefs come down and win a Super Bowl.
Dallas Chiefs. Wow. So I'm not a big fan of two teams in any market, and I'll tell you why. Not that it can't work. I think it's worked for years in New York. I don't know that I think it's working in L.A., but okay. I mean, the Chargers seem satisfied. I just think it is such a popular game, and there are so few teams, 32 of them, and so many markets that could benefit and enjoy it. I think it would be better to spread the wealth and put teams in markets. Now, there's this bias and this perspective, I imagine is the right word, where everybody wants to be in a big market, and there's only so many big markets. You got New York, LA, Chicago, and then big markets are San Francisco and Philadelphia. Dallas is certainly one of them, right? Boston, Atlanta. And then you consider smaller markets. I don't even know. What's an NFL smaller market besides Green Bay? Pittsburgh, right? I guess Cleveland would be considered a smaller market. Probably Vegas, but everybody wants to be in Vegas. Buffalo. But that's just my contention. If you're going to move and you're going to relocate, I would go to somewhere. The facility is a big deal. That is hungry for it. That's going to really, really support it. And I just don't know that you're going to get supported that much in Dallas. As another team.
Yeah, and you have Kansas City fans going, hold up. We've done nothing wrong here.
You're not a San Diego fan about that.
You're just trying to milk us for more money without putting up more capital investment on your end. And it's not like the NFL doesn't have that money available. And I get it. You're always going to ask for the free money first. Who's not going to do that? You're going to do that. But when your fans and the citizens push back on it, first thing can't be, well, we're leaving now. But that's what happens. That's how that game is played.
Let me ask you this. Even when United Stadium, the bond the initiative got voted down, they didn't say it, but there was chatter. Well, all right, well, we're going to lose the team. And, Peter said, we're not moving. Right? But that was the first place a lot of people went. Well, are they leaving? Right? I just think that's natural in there. All right, Rod sent me an email experiencing the Final Four. You can send him to Jeff at sportsanimal.abq.com. Jefferson Lobo fans are parched just for the Sweet 16. I've told this OD story before. When I was younger, I went to a poor school. When we had a break in practice, everybody rushed to the single water fountain. If it was a hot day or hard practice, it seemed the players at the front of the line were going to drink from the fountain forever. If you were at the back of the line, you were lucky to get a sip before practice resumed. Lobo fans are thirsty. They've been patiently waiting in the back of the line for decades, while Puke, North Carolina, Kentucky, and Louisville have been enjoying big gulps of water from the Sweet 16 fountain. They've watched Florida Gulf Coast, FAU, St. Peter's, the Sister Jeans. Sister flippin' Jean was wheelchaired up to the fountain while dry Lobo fan watched her guzzle. Even your Aztecs have gotten opportunities to put their mouths in the stream multiple times. It seemed like Ellenberger was going to get the Lobo fans to drink, but pesky Cal State Fullerton and maybe some unpaid bookies had other plans. Gary Colson had more than enough talent to get there, just couldn't come up with that critical road win to get them within reach. Bliss had the talent, too, and stood in line many times. But whether it be chili cheese fries, Kenny Thomas disappearing, or the wrong guy taking the big shot, he couldn't get to the faucet either. And then, even when it seemed Alfred was tantalizing close to the spigot, pesky Laurent Rivard got in the way. It's from Rod. Rod just gave you a whole soliloquy of Lobo basketball. Gave you a whole rundown of not being able to drink from the fountain. Yeah. You'll get, I say it like it's going to happen. I mean, I do believe Lobo basketball is going to get there one day. I do. I mean, Nevada's got there. And you've watched so many teams. You always say, why not us? Right? Which 11th seed is going to win? Lobo fans are thirsty, JJ. That's why I told Jerry, man, enjoy this. You get that, enjoy that Vegas moment. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, it's just whatever. Why we watch sports? You say it all the time.
The hope. Yep. One day.
This is funny. Terry sent me a text, 505-246-0610. It says, Bruin James would make a great weatherman. Calls the show yesterday with a take and calls today with the exact opposite take. Yep. You can change the forecast just like that. Just like that.
It's all about percentages. Like, what do you think today? Well, today I think there's a 35% chance of rain. So we'll see what happens.
But you know what that means? There's a 65% chance of not.
So I could be right either way.
So I told you it might rain. Dude, it freaking stormed all day. I told you. Or it was sunny. Well, only 35% chance. I'm always right. That's how that thing works. Always, 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 always right. All right. What's the Bills' plan? Buffalo Bills traded Stephon Diggs yesterday. They trade him for, whatever. not a whole lot. What's their plan? We'll get into that next because they've got a franchise quarterback. Everybody's trying to find a franchise quarterback. They got one. But, ... It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Shot up good.
The madness is here.
Catch every high-profile game from.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own.
This morning, I got a picture of the surf looks all right. High tide, cross shore, JJ, no wind. Or cross shore winds, no swell. So it's no bueno. More rain on the way. Says, with Acker taking the Long Beach State job, surprised Brian Dutcher doesn't quickly hire Justin Hudson back. Do you expect that to happen? The Fresno State coach who got fired, going back to San Diego State? I can see that. Also, where in the world is Mashburn going? Then he sent a picture of the concourse last year, and he said the concourse right after the game, at the Aztec game. And shout out to Malachi Flynn being the only Aztec ever to score 50 in an NBA game. Did not.
Look at Kawhi Leonard's career highest.
Yeah, evidently, according to Ralph, it's not 50. Malachi Flynn, former Mountain West star, 50 points off the bench, just the third player in the history of the NBA to score 50 points in a game coming off the bench. Did it last night for the Detroit Pistons in a loss to the Atlanta Hawks. They lost 121-113. All right, 505-246-0610. What's Kawhi's high? I'm actually kind of curious. I'm going to guess 47-ish. I'm trying to think of what other Aztec would have possibly in the NBA scored points like that, and I just can't get there. I don't have one for you. You know who's still, I believe, the all-time leader in assists at San Diego State basketball?
Tony Gwynn?
I believe that to be still true. Yeah, I believe that's true. All right, what are the Bills doing? Buffalo Bill fan. So I talked to one yesterday. I got to believe there's a few of you. Scratching your heads going, what the hell are they doing? Here comes the draft. You got the 20th pick of the draft. You got a franchise quarterback. There's probably 5, 6, 7 teams this draft trying to find a quarterback. Trying to convince himself that it's Drake May or Jaden Daniels or even J.J. McCarthy or Michael Penix. Trying to convince themselves that, well, if I get up to 3, if I can stay at 11, if I go to 8, I'm going to find my quarterback. You got one. You got one. And I'm going to guess a lot of those teams feel better than you do right now. Yesterday, the Bills traded their star wide receiver, Stephon Diggs. I don't think it's a shock that they traded Stephon Diggs. He'd been outwardly unhappy. Hadn't been getting along with your quarterback. And who are you going to trade? It's easy. So the Bills get a second-round pick next year and and they send Diggs and a 5th and a 6th to the Texans. And then their general manager comes out and says this. This is Brandon Beane, quote, I mean, are we better today? It's a work in progress. He said, probably. Are we better today? Probably not. It's a work in progress. And we're going to continue to work on that. I would just hope that people know I'm competitive as hell. And I ain't giving in. You have to have a franchise quarterback to be a consistent contender. I do not think our window is closing. End quote. That's great, man. And I'm Bill fan. I'm like, that's cool. But I lost all that we lost this year in the offseason. Tell me, if I'm Bill fan and I'm sitting there, how am I listening to Brandon Beane tell me that mess? And I'm supposed to believe it.
Well, he's honest.
I appreciate his honesty. I think it's wonderful.
So I have zero problem with what he said.
Okay.
He's acknowledging, are they better in the moment? No. There was a lot more to the Stephon Diggs situation.
Yep.
That they were ready to move on from, a 30-year-old receiver that they still owe $80 million to.
Yep, and they have to eat how much of it? 30-something?
Yeah, but it's at this point in time, it doesn't. The difference is you have Stephon Diggs. They're catching passes, but he was nowhere to be found in the second half of the season.
He
had 5 games with 35 or less yards in the second half of the season.
I'm going to tell you, to me, it's bigger than Stephon Diggs. Like, what are they doing? Is really kind of what's the plan? Okay, because I'm with you.
They're getting rid of old dudes.
Okay.
Jordan
So the plan
Poyer,
is just get rid of old dudes and bring in what?
And reset.
What are we doing?
In the draft.
Okay.
That's what you do.
I got the 28th pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, am I going to get a receiver? Okay. I agree with them. I don't think their window's closing. And again, I don't have a problem with them not bringing back Stephon Diggs. There was obviously a problem with him in the locker room. There was a problem with him being there. Like he demonstrated it. He said it. It was, and to your point, dude didn't play like a number 1 NFL receiver.
What's the last memory you have of Stephon Diggs and the Buffalo Bills?
I don't have any. I mean, it's the year prior to this year where he was stomping around.
You don't have
I don't have
one
anything
of-
this
in,
year.
in the postseason.
Yeah,
when
a year ago in the postseason.
This past.
What did he do
playoff,
this one?
When Josh Allen dropped a dime on him and it went right through his hands.
Oh, okay. Now I do. Yeah, no, I remember. And I remember coming back and saying, dude, you're the guy who wants the ball. Give me the damn ball. And I remember saying that the next day on the radio. Yeah, you're the guy who wants the ball. You keep saying throw him the ball, and dude drops it. And yet Josh Allen takes the hit for not being able to win the big. Yeah, no, I absolutely remember that now. Yeah. That's why I'm telling you, I don't have a problem with them getting rid of Stephon Diggs. And he may go to Houston and be great. That's fine. Sometimes dudes need to reset in a new place.
I think Stephon Diggs is going to be really good this season. He's going to be motivated. They're going to feature him early in that offense. And then you will get to next year and the year after that and realize, oh, there's a little bit of a reason why Stephon Diggs is bounced around.
And he'll be not malcontent when he's not getting the ball, and something's going to be wrong, and it's always somebody else's fault. No, I get that. No, you're right, dude. I absolutely remember. I keep thinking of the postscript on the Bills losing that game, and sitting here saying, so we're going to place the whole blame on Josh Allen, and we being not me, not you necessarily, but the national narrative. And what do you want the guy to do? You want him to go throw it and then go catch it? He put ball right where ball needed to be in big crucial moment, and somebody's got to catch the damn thing, no?
There's a strong chance that a lot of the Bills' passing game will be Josh Allen throwing the football to himself this season.
Well, the tight ends are going to be really involved. And they're going to go out and get a receiver, right?
Well, Dalton Kincaid, I'm telling you, you're looking at a dude that could be a top 3 fantasy football tight end. Already locked in potential top 5 status, potential 100 target season for Kincaid.
Okay.
Got some sleepers for Curtis Samuel.
Yeah,
Back into the
Curtis
draft.
Samuel's never.
Curtis Samuel has played with Carolina.
Yeah, and Washington. Yeah.
So there's some things I like in the passing game. You bring in a rookie wide receiver, keep an eye on that at 28. If they go that route, and they will be fine offense.
Is there anything left in the free agent market? It's all dried up. So you got to go get, and I'm looking in the 20s, right? What's there? Xavier Worthy might be there. Lad McConkey is a receiver from Georgia who might be there. Do you move up a little bit to try to get what? I mean, is that their, by the way, their defense wasn't that great. They need help defensively too. You mentioned this a number of times. They got old and not that good defensively. That's why if I'm sitting around going, okay, that's cool, man, but what's the plan? What are we doing? Yeah, we got a good young quarterback. I think everybody's
the
on
plan
board.
is you're getting younger.
Okay.
And you have a draft, and you go draft players and reset your roster.
And hope they work. Yeah. Okay. Because you're not in the free agent capital of the world, by the way.
No.
In Buffalo, New York. I mean, everybody's not go up there and freeze their backside off. I think all that's right. What's the plan? To become the Dallas freaking Chiefs. That's the plan. Boy, that's another deal.
Isn't Buffalo in the stadium market as well?
Yeah, I think they're getting into it. I think they're getting one. All right, Rashee Rice, the receiver of the Dallas Chiefs, or soon to be Dallas Chiefs, or whatever. Cooperating, evidently. He released a statement regarding his incident in that crash. Remember, there was a 6-vehicle crash this weekend in Dallas.
Yeah, he's there getting used to it, scouting, gonna send some feedback to his buddies about the Dallas area and what it'd be like.
I'm drawing you a map where to go and where not.
So
to
when
go.
we move to Dallas,
That's
here we
right.
go.
That's right. Rice retained counsel, and his attorney released this statement earlier. On behalf of Rashee Rice, his thoughts are with everyone impacted by the automobile accident on Saturday. Rashee is cooperating with local authorities and will take all necessary steps to address this situation responsibly. Then he went on social media yesterday, apologized. Quote, today I met with Dallas Police Department investigators regarding Saturday's accident. I take full responsibility for my part in this matter and will continue to cooperate with the necessary authorities. I sincerely apologize to everyone impacted in Saturday's accident. That was the quote. It's a good non-statement, isn't it? I take responsibility for my part in this matter. Didn't say what his part was. Still don't know if he was present. We do know now that he leased the vehicle, the Lamborghini, right? I believe that we know that. A preliminary investigation shows that there was someone in the Corvette, someone in the Lamborghini speeding in the far left lane. They both lost control. The Lamborghini hit the shoulder, hit the center median, caused a chain reaction to other vehicles. They still aren't saying whether they know or not who was driving, whether Rashee Rice was driving, whether he was at the scene. They just know that he leased the vehicle. Again, I'm struggling finding a way that this ends up well. But I mean, this is something we'll watch, and we're going to watch it every single day. All right, if you missed it this morning, this happened this morning. The Knicks' Julius Randle will have season-ending shoulder surgery. He's out for the year. It's a big blow to the Knicks. Omar's in on the Dallas franchise. Jeff on a new Dallas franchise. Clippers have always been known as Lakers JV. Why would any club want to move into the shadow of the star and be the JV of the NFL's most outstanding organization? I'm not arguing with you that if they move to Dallas, they become the number 2 in Dallas. Still a pretty good franchise. First of all, I don't think they should. So I'll leave it there. Omar's also in on Zeke. Jeff, you can't have a $15 million starting running back who's a non-factor where once your backup running back limps off the court, you get zero production from that position like we saw against 49ers last year. For that reason, I advise Coach Jones to pass on Zeke. He's not getting $15 million, dude. If he signs with the Cowboys, he may get 3. Right?
Yeah.
Did I miss something here?
No.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Yeah, if he signs with the or whoever, he's a $2.5 to $3 million running back. I'm not sure where you're getting that number, that he's going to be a $15 million back, because he's not. Where's the Hawaii surf report? Don't have that one, dude. Which part of Hawaii do you want? There's a lot of coastline in Hawaii. I mean, I get this one from North County, San Diego, kind of Carlsbad area. But, I mean, there's a whole, you want North Shore, you want Lahaina, what do you want? I'll work on getting it for you. So let me know what, I got to get pictures, I got to get it, and it's early there. The other thing, what is it now? It's 20 to 9. So 7 minus 3, so it's 20 to 4 there. It's hard to get a surf report, bro, when it's that early in the morning. All right, I'll wrap it up. Everything you got to know as you get through your Thursday. The latest breaking news as well. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Consequence for this. And this is going to be really interesting scheduling. Minor League Baseball. The River Cats schedule 6-game series. Right? I mean, they're Tuesday through Sundays, generally with Mondays off. The PCL is now going to have to adjust schedules for the next 3 years for the A's. I think is how this is going to have to work. Nashville Sounds AAA and the Express of the AA shared a stadium in 93 and 94. And that stadium was used all but 11 days of the schedule calendar. Scheduling is going to be a nightmare, don't you think? And I don't know who's got precedence. You would say automatically, well, the big league club does. I think they're the secondary tenant.
Have fun figuring that out.
Does that mean that like they got to move out of? I guess Isotopes have to move out of their locker room too, huh? Because United goes in there. Well, I guess when you share it, you get it. Yeah, right.
I think United
uses the other side.
Uses the visiting locker room.
Yeah, but they got to. So the visiting team uses Isotopes locker room.
Something,
right? I mean, it's not like there's a bunch of locker rooms there. What else you got to know as you go through your day? Knicks Julius Randle is going to have season-ending shoulder surgery. You got to be. It's like when you say Josh Sushan, you have to be very, very deliberate and slow in saying season-ending shoulder surgery. So he's done for the year, which is a big blow for the Knicks. There's a story. I don't think this gets traction. I just don't. But the mayor of the city of Dallas has said, well, if the Chiefs can't get their stadium, move here. And all of a sudden there's all this buzz. Oh, the Chiefs are moving to Dallas. No, they're not. But they'll use it as leverage. There was a line brawl that you need to watch in the New York Rangers New Jersey Devils hockey game. 2 seconds in, they drop the puck. Everybody dropped the gloves. It's just the beauty of that wide shot when everybody throws their sticks and gloves in the air is worth just taking a look at. So that's what's going on as you go through your day. Hey, I wanted to hit on this. And I was really careful. You know, when there's allegations, JJ, and we've watched it how many times over the years, there's an allegation, we get into a story, and it ends up, it's not exactly how it played out. Who's the player that said he jumped off the roof at a hotel in like out in Palm Springs to save a drowning kid, and ends up, yeah, that's not how it happened. Remember, we lauded him as a hero. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Vaguely remember the story.
And we lauded him as a hero. Oh, it's great. And then it ends up, yeah, that didn't really happen. So when I heard the story, and I think you were here too, of the Utah women's basketball team in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho for the NCAA regional at Gonzaga, and they were the victims of racial slurs and the way they were treated, I'm like, something happened, but what happened, right? Well, the Coeur d'Alene, Idaho Police Department did say yesterday that they're working to determine context and conduct associated with the slurs use. And police did say that they're reviewing the evidence, but it does appear that there were racial slurs used more than once. And they collected like 35 hours of video from businesses in that area. The video and the audio corroborate what members of the basketball program reported. So this, from their investigation, and not that I wanted to sit here and doubt, but I've been burned or seen people burned enough times that you want all sides of this. So the police and detectives are working to locate any additional evidence that they can find, any information, and they're trying to identify there's a silver car that was in the area. Oh, that's it. It was that silver car. You guys, this is disgusting. I've been to northern Idaho. It certainly has its reputation of not being very tolerant of diversity. How's that? It's got a reputation of being very racist. Is that what you'd rather me say?
That's out there.
Yeah.
No,
the reputation's there. Yeah, 100%. This is so unacceptable at every level. And I don't know exactly what was said. You can let your mind go. That these young ladies were going to the NCAA tournament, and because of logistics, and again, I'm going to take you back. Why were they 35 miles? Why were they all the way out in Idaho? Spokane's not far from Coeur d'Alene. But because the NCAA men's tournament was pre-scheduled to be there, all the hotels, or the majority of the hotels, and certainly the nice, the full-service hotels were taken. And so when Gonzaga became a top 4 seed and hosted a regional, they had to scramble to find hotel availability. And not only were the team hotels taken, but with all the fan bases coming in, they didn't have anything, and the closest they could find for some teams was out in Coeur d'Alene. And look, Coeur d'Alene's beautiful, dude. Like the Coeur d'Alene Resort is unreal. The floating green at the Coeur d'Alene Golf Resort is great. It's just got this reputation. A reputation tend to come for a reason. This is so outrageous. And I don't know how they're going to find it. And I feel for the young ladies who had to experience this. And, I think we all understand it's still prevalent in our society. It's still there. What makes you want to go out? And I'm glad I don't understand this. This is your thing. You hate whatever you hate. What makes you go out of your way? And is this just get out of my town kind of a thing?
Yes. Like they were just walking out of a restaurant after a team dinner.
No. I mean, so everything you heard about that evidently, and with the investigations coming out, evidently is true. All right. The other thing people are going to be talking about is 50 points out of Malachi Flynn last night, by the way. The former San Diego State star, 50 points off the bench. He becomes just the 3rd player in the history of the NBA to score 50 points off the bench. And he now is at the top of the list. The guy with the lowest career scoring average to ever score 50 points in a game. He averages 5.2 points a game. He ran for 50 last night.
So Kawhi's hit the 45-point mark.
45 is his number? Yeah. So he has scored more in the NBA than any other Aztec in the history of Aztecs in the NBA.
Very good.
Yeah, that's good. Who would you say Lobo-wise? Would it be Danny Granger?
Yeah. Ooh.
Where else would you go? Luke?
thinking.
Like Tony Snell. I mean, who would it be? It would be Luke, Tony Snell, Danny Granger. I mean, if you go back to Mel Daniels in the NBA, but he played in the ABA, so he never played in the NBA, I don't think. But yeah, I don't know who that would be. That'd be a good trivia question. I like trivia where you sit in front of someone and say you can't open up your phone.
So Danny Granger had a 44-point game.
So that would be my leading contestant on Price is Right.
Yeah.
Right?
$1, please.
Yeah, I mean, 44. I'm going to guess
He
Luke's.
got 44 points against the Utah Jazz.
All right. What do you guess Luke Longley's highest point total in the game was? I'm going to guess 28. And Luke had obviously some big games and played on championship teams and has rings. But I'm going to guess he had 28. And then Snell, I'm going to guess, probably had a 34-point game one day or something like that. Ooh, I see your face.
Snell over 30, over under.
You don't think he ever had over 30 in a game?
Let's look at.
And I'm like, am I missing someone on this list? But yeah, so would you tell me 47 for Granger? 44.
Said 44. So yeah. Luke Longley.
Yeah.
He hit 24.
I was close to 20. What did I say? 27, 28? All right, 24 is. I mean, look, there were some scoring options on his teams now. There were some places to go with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and dudes who could light it up a little bit. And then so Snell, I'm going to say hit 31 one day. You can tell me no. I could be wrong. I'm okay with that.
Tony Snell's career high.
Yeah.
It's 24 points.
Thanks to Jerry Palm was with us. If you missed Jerry, go take a listen. He was really good today. I mean, Jerry's always really good, but damn near giddy with his team in the Final Four, and he's in Arizona. SportsAnimalABQ.com. Click on the opening drive. It'll all be right there. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4, and then we're going to be back with award-winning radio tomorrow mornings. We'll start at 7 a.m. Adrian, great work on the TV side. Great day today, JJ. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burkia. I love New Mexico.
especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.